What is the second language that most of these people want to learn? So DuoCon 2025, a lot of time language learner, their go-to app or a way to assess their interest, a lot of time they go through Duolingo first and then to test whether this is what they are interested in, and then from there they decide whether they should go further in language learning. But let's look at the DuoCon, some of the key highlights that they shared. DuoCon is the event that they run annually that shared about Duolingo update. And Luis von Ahn is the CEO and founder. Luis von Ahn is not an American. He grew up in Guatemala. So maybe a bit backstory of Louis Van Ahn. So Louis Van Ahn, if you go to any news site, you need to sign up some account, whatever, right? There's this thing called CAPTCHA. Means you need to click some image to make sure that you are the real person. Right now, even got reCAPTCHA. It's just a security system to make sure that you are a human, not the bot. So, who is the inventor of CAPTCHA is this gentleman called Louis Van Ahn. All right. After his business he liked to do something different. He found that the reason why he can do so well in life is because he learned this language called English. From Guatemala, he's one of the lucky ones that learn English and excel in life. And then you find that people in his country, in Guatemala, people who can't do well in life, a lot of time is because their language ability, in other words, English. And it's hard for them to learn English with their resources and time. So he think of the way on how to make this language learning fun and easy, and also to support people who are less fortunate to learn a new language. He shared that there's 130 million active users in Duolingo, 130 million active learner, and 90% are not paying user. In other words, 10% of users are paying for 90%. Language learner right now is supporting people who are less fortunate in that sense to learn the language so that they can excel in life, get a better job. For example, if you are a waiter, if you can speak English in his country or less fortunate country, you can work in hotel to get a better pay. So this is his logic and this is his passion, this is his life goal to build up this app and build up this language learning platform for people to excel in their life and get a better pay, get a better life. So isn't Duolingo a gaming app? Yep. Actually, you can see it as a game. They don't see it as gaming app. It's more of a gamification of learning app. So they gamify the process to help people learn English. And 10 million of people are having this thing called streak. Means they play every day non-stop for the past 365 days. There's 10 million of people in Duolingo have been playing or have been using Duolingo app every single day for the past 365 days. 10 million, and I'm one of them. So most of the country out there, except US, the main language, the first biggest language that people want to learn is English. And for US, the first language that people like to learn is Spanish. Why? Because there's a Hispanic society, people like to learn Spanish. Guess what is the second language that most of these people want to learn? The second most learned language in each country is actually the country language. For example, let's say in France, right, the first learned language is English, right? The second is French. Italy, first language is English, they want to learn, and second language is Italian. So this is how the country people learn, or so-called the first and second most learned language in the country. So in other words, Malaysia may be Malay, but they didn't disclose that, and China maybe is Mandarin. Right now, the more interesting things that they shared that caught my interest and they might caught some potential revenue generator is this. In a lot of places, you need to assess your English language. You need to take SATs lah. Even you go to MBA, you need to take GMAT lah, just to test language, right? So in Duolingo, there's this thing called Duolingo English Test, DET. And this Duolingo English Test is able to assess your English level, give you a score, and assess your English proficiency level. And then this is not pertain to just English, they cover other language as well. Right now, they have this scoring system whereby from 0 to 160. 0 to 30 is like beginner level. 30 to 60 means you learn some language, you can converse, but maybe not fluently. 60 to 100 is you have some capability of structuring sentence. And 130 and 160 means your proficiency is in the sense that you can speak, you can converse, but you might not be the expert in language, but you can speak and converse. So right now, if you take their Duolingo English test, right, you can get certifications to get approved and entry to 99 of top 100 university in US. You take the test itself, you get a certificate, and then you can apply for your universities. And this English test just costs you 70 bucks, 70, just to get the English test. This might unlock their new revenue generator. I believe they have this English test for the longest time, but right now, because of their scoring system, because of their gamifications, they are learning their users' capability in the sense that assessing them and come up with this scoring system. And in the end, this serves as a benchmark for university to take in and recognize Duolingo English test as a certification. And so much so that they also have a new collaboration with LinkedIn. Let's say you are learning English or you are learning some language, right? In LinkedIn, you can put your proficiency level. Can you write? Can you speak? And maybe how's your level like according to your speaking or according to your writing or according to your reading? It's hard to assess, right? It's just like own self, check own self. I thought I can write very good, then I score it high. If I thought I can speak quite well, I score it high. So there isn't a benchmark or there isn't a way to assess. So right now, you can see that I'm like Spanish 58, I'm Spanish like 80. With the scoring right, people will know, oh, you are roughly at what level. So in LinkedIn, you can log into your Duolingo or log in your LinkedIn, create the access for your LinkedIn to get the scoring from Duolingo.